Welcome back to TeaHouse Dives. Episode 8 tricks both Kim and us. For nearly 10 minutes, we're convinced South Korea really handed Kim back to North Korea. We watch him get beaten, electrocuted, burned, forced to relive the worst memories of his life. Then the episode pulls the rug out from under us. None of it was real. The torture chamber, the interrogator, even the border itself. But here's the brilliant part. The fake torture wasn't actually testing whether Kim was still loyal to South Korea. It was testing whether Agent 66 still existed. And episode 8 gives us a devastating answer. 20 years ago, they could break Agent 66. Today, that man is gone because the only identity Kim refuses to surrender anymore is being Minchi's father. The fake North Korea. Episode 8 opens like a nightmare. Kim wakes inside what looks like exactly like a North Korean detention facility. Days become weeks, weeks become months. His beard grows, his body deteriorates. Every interrogation pushes him closer to breaking. The questions are familiar. Who helped you? Who smuggled you across? Which routes did you use? They're trying to erase him the same way they did 20 years ago. Except something has changed. Back then, Kim survived because he was trained to endure pain. Now he survives because he has something worth coming home to. Every time the interrogator pushed harder, his thoughts returned to Minji and to his wife's dying wish. The agency believes suffering strips away a person's true identity. Instead, it exposes it. When Kim finally explodes after they threaten his daughter, the illusion shatters. He storms through the door, expecting North Korean soldiers. Instead, General Chang is waiting. Kim never crossed the border. South Korea built the entire prison. They thought pain would uncover the spy they had trained 20 years ago. Instead, it uncovered a father they no longer understood. The door that represents Korea. General Jang literally says the door represents the 38th parallel. It's one of the smartest visual metaphors in the series. Kim believes one step has carried him back into North Korea. In reality, he never left the South. The border exists only in his mind. The writers quietly suggest something uncomfortable. The line separating North and South may exist on a map, but the methods of power look very similar. And that's exactly how Kim has lived for 20 years. North Korea calls him a traitor. South Korea calls him an asset. Neither country ever sees him as a human being. Both governments reduce him to whatever role is politically useful. The fake border exposes a painful truth. Kim's real prison was never North Korea. It was living between two countries that only valued him as a weapon. The fake interrogation room? Throughout the drama, we've seen Kim hiding behind disguises. Now, South Korea built an entire disguise. The fake North Korea isn't only testing Kim, it's showing that South Korea has become just as skilled at deception as the North. This episode quietly blurs the line between the two countries. They both torture, both manipulate, both lie, both justify everything as being for the country. Kim no longer belongs to either side because both have become reflections of each other. Protecting Director Ri, the ultimate test of growth. Then the writers deliver what might be Kim's hardest mission yet. Protect Director General Ri, the very man responsible for destroying his life. At first, it almost feels random, but it's actually the perfect test. 20 years ago, revenge would have been automatic. Kim would have killed him without hesitation. This episode asks a different question. What does a man do after revenge stops mattering? Kim chooses restraint, not because Ree deserves mercy, but because Minji deserves a future. That's the difference. Kim isn't protecting Ree because he deserves to live. He's protecting Ree because Minji deserves a future. Finding real family in the ruins. This episode slowly reveals a horrifying pattern. Kim doesn't have one enemy. He has systems. North Korea betrays him, South Korea betrays him, Director Ri betrays him, the Vice Minister betrays him, Chairman Ju betrays him. Even the SMD, the agency asking him to risk everything, eventually betrays him. Every institution treats Kim like a weapon, which is exactly why the scenes with his daughter and his two friends feel so different. They don't need Agent 66, they just need Kim. The Tactical Trinity. This is why the Tactical Trinity matters. Most people call these scenes comic relief. I don't think that's what they are. They're reminders. Jean Schultz survives enough tranquilizers darts to knock out almost anyone, then walks halfway across the country, only to get scolded for smelling bad. Hansu can fight trained killers, but struggles to raise a teenage son. They're elite operatives. They're also husbands, fathers, homeowners, people worried about water purifier appointments and embarrassing t-shirts. The governments see them as disposable assets. The drama refuses to let us forget they're ordinary men trying to return to ordinary life. The tragedy is that ordinary life refuses to let them stay. The chairman's broken throne. When we finally see the chairman again, he's sitting alone in the dark. Months have passed, but mentally, he's still trapped inside the night Kim defeated him. That's because Kim didn't just beat him. He shattered the illusion that power guarantees safety. For years, the chairman believed money could buy loyalty. It could buy politicians, buy killers, buy justice. Then one father walked into his house and proved none of it mattered. That's why he reaches for a sword instead of a phone. His wealth has failed him. Violence is the only language he has left. The chairman built a throne out of money and intimidation, but it was built on sand. Months later, he's still trapped in the ruins of it, haunted by the men who proved that a true father with nothing left to lose would always dismantle a fake king. I really love how they showed how his empire survived, but his pride didn't. The final betrayal. The moment Kim realizes their safe house has become compromised, he reaches a conclusion before anyone else. There's a mole. Nobody believes him. They think it's coincidence. Kim doesn't believe in coincidences. When an enemy shows up exactly where you're hiding, it's never bad luck, it's a leak. Spies survive by assuming betrayal first. Seconds later, he's proven right. That's what separates Kim from everyone around him. Other people, they trust titles. Kim, he trusts behavior. Other people believe what they're told. Kim believes what people reveal through their actions. That's why he's always one step ahead. He isn't smarter because he's paranoid. He's smarter because experience taught him betrayal always leaves a pattern. And after 20 years of deception, those instincts are usually the only thing keeping him alive. The moment he brings Director Ri to his trusted friends in the city, the SMD director bursts through the door, having known his location all along. The system didn't rescue him, it cornered him. That is the ultimate tragedy of Agent Kim. Everyone around him wants to believe in protocol, in agencies, and in authority. But Kim knows that in a corrupt world, the people wearing the suits and giving the orders are always the ones selling you out. He survives not because the system protects him, but because he trusts no one except his own instincts and the few true family members he has left. Episode 8 begins by asking whether Kim still belongs to South Korea. By the end, we realize that's the wrong question. Kim doesn't belong to South Korea. He doesn't belong to North Korea. He doesn't even belong to the intelligence agency that claims to protect him. The only place Kim truly belongs is at the dinner table with Minchi. That's what makes this episode so heartbreaking. Every government sees a weapon. Every politician sees an asset. Every enemy sees a target. Only one little girl sees a father. And that's why this episode works so well. This episode isn't really about espionage. It's about identity. Every government is fighting over Agent 66. But Agent 66 no longer exists. The only person left is a father trying to make it home to his daughter. And that is why no government in this story truly understands Kim. I think they're all chasing a ghost, while the real man has been sitting at the dinner table with Minji all along. If you enjoyed this deep dive, let me know your favorite moment from episode 8 in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe because next we'll be diving into the final episodes of Agent Kim Reactivated. Until next time, I'll see you back at the tea house.